I am pleased today to have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker, Graciela Tiscareño-Sato. Ms. Tiscareno-Sato is a highly decorated military veteran, bilingual consultant, and she's also speaker on leadership, innovation. Ms. Tiscareno-Sato is a graduate of the University of California at Berkeley. She's also the author of a 5-time award-winning Latino American Green American Jobs and the Latinos Created Them. Ms. Tiscareno-Sato is also the author of an Amazon best-selling bilingual children's book titled Good Night, Captain Mama, Buenas Noches, Capitán Mama, the first bilingual children's book about why mommies served in the military. This year, Graciela Tiscareño-Sato also published Captain Mama Surprise, La Sorpresa de Capitán Mama, the second book in the Captain Mama series. She's a regular contributor to the Huffington Post on issues such as education, small businesses, women, green, and Latino voices. Ms. Tiscareno-Sato has received numerous awards. She has been honored by Latina Style magazine. Also, she was honored by the White House as a woman military veteran leader champion of change. Ms. Tiscareno-Sato lives in the San Francisco East Bay Area with her husband and 3 eco-conscious children. Please join me in welcoming Graciela Tiscareño-Sato. She's a great researcher.
Muchísimas gracias, Hugo. And it is a grandissimo honor to be here today. I have to tell you that I spoke in San Antonio at the Region 20 conference in November, and it was Hugo who made the connection to invite me here today. So I want to personally thank you for that moment when you came up and touched your heart and you invited me. So I've got 40 minutes to flood you with una ola de éxitos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I'm going to walk around because I need to be able to see the slides. So my story starts, and I've called it Una Ola de Éxitos. You can see the complete title there. Those are my feet there at the beach yesterday. I went down there just to get that picture. I'm going to feel flooded at the end, I promise. So when you heard that bio, I like to think of this question as I walk. Did any faces of your students pop into your mind? Did you see any little faces of your current students when you heard my biography? Probably not, right? That's not going to happen. My story begins in El Paso, 1967, when I was born. Mommy and Papi are from Mexico, Papi from Ciudad Juárez, Mommy from Chihuahua. My dad has been working in Hollywood. He's a suspect to the stars. He went back and married a girl, a woman, 13 years younger than him, who he first met when his sister was her teacher. Cradle robbing papa, right? But I'm so glad all that happened. My dad just celebrated his 89th birthday yesterday. What a blessing. And where are the teachers that sang happy birthday to my papi last night at the restaurant? They're all over. Thank you. That was such a blessing. He called me today, this morning, and told me thank you, because it was such a surprise. So thank you. And see, he graduated, he went all the way through 3rd grade in Juárez. 1927 was his birthday. And Mommy finished high school. But I was born 0.8 miles north of the border. Big family, conservative family, Catholic family, very traditional, meaning traditional roles of growth, right? When you look at this picture and you hear that part of my life, now, are you thinking of any of the students in your classroom? Okay. Growing up in a Spanish-speaking home, my parents had one very strict rule. You will not speak English at home. Even if you said, please pass the potatoes at dinner, you pass the potatoes. Not until you said, por favor, pásame las papitas, did you give the potatoes. They were serious about this. We were not going to lose our Spanish. And you're going to see in a few minutes how critical that has been in my life. My kindergarten report card shows a lot of pluses, maybe satisfactory progress, blah, blah. But it's this note down here that I want you to look at. It says that Graciela is capable of doing much more advanced work. Think about that. I started kindergarten teaching solo español. I knew my phone number in English. 352-1874. I still remember it. My daddy made sure I could call home. That's all the English I knew. But at the end of kindergarten, I was capable of doing much more advanced work. So much so that my teacher wanted to skip me second grade. My mommy and papi said, no, gracias. Friends, right? They're meeting those needs as well. School experiences were positive. Fourth grade, I was identified to the GATE program. You know what? My teachers, they always pumped up my self-esteem to the point where I developed a very competitive mindset. I remember this. I remember thinking, well, that's cool, this GATE label, you're really talented, what does that mean? But what it did is it started making me think, what else can I do? Because they were always telling me, like the kindergarten teacher, that I was capable of more. So please take this with you. Your students have needs that might not even know they have yet. Meet them anyway. Instill competitive thinking and the desire to do better and to demonstrate their skills. You know, culturally, a lot of times we don't want to demonstrate, right? We're too shy. We're programmed to keep it to ourselves and to not show we're awesome, right? So we need to figure out how we're going to balance that cultural lesson with the need to be competitive. And the need to be known to other people and for our kids to be known. Middle school, this is when that really started happening for me. I had this teacher, Keith Trestle, right here. I used to go after school with my favorite cute Japanese boy friend in the class, and we would race Mr. Tressler to multiplication tables. I mean, just for fun. Because I had this attitude that I'm going to beat my teacher, I'm going to beat this guy. Where did that come from? Continuously being told how capable I was. And something else. Right here at the bottom. My 6th grade principal, Mr. Bamford, called me to his office one day. Everybody's like, ooh, what'd you do? I went to his office, you know, asked him, he said, could you entertain babysitting my 3-year-old daughter, Josie, and speaking only Spanish to her? Because I want her to really be absorbed in the language. So there I became my principal's babysitter. And I got made fun by all the kids, right? You can imagine. But see, that was respect. There was respect for my family, respect for my culture, respect for my language. And I know it had everything to do with how I feel about myself today and with why I do the work that I do. Now, another teacher that year, Mr. Bartlett, he was my science teacher. He has a brain tumor. These are the 2 teachers I've kept in touch with the most for years. I called him last October, and we had this conversation. And all of a sudden, he says, what is it on the screen? I remember being surprised when I first met your parents, who spoke very little English. I was surprised because you were such a good student and spoke perfect English with an accent like your parents. Wow, what a thing to be told when you're 48 years old from your teacher, right? I was like, well, did you know that just, 6 years before I spoke no English? And so he was so puzzled by that. So here's the question. What if he met my parents first? His expectations have not been of high because of that. What if, right? What if he confused, as a monolingual English teacher, what if he confused my parents' lack of English for lack of intelligence? What if? My daddy, with a 3rd grade education, was a neighborhood tax preparer. Okay, that man just donated the tax forms in English and did it on his taxes. Like, I always think, what if my papi had had a chance to learn English? Right? But that struck me. What if he met my parents first? What would he thought of me? So I just put that question out there. 7th grade, I was the only trombone player in the band. Again, I really didn't care if I was the only one. I loved it. I'm going to play trombone. And in 8th grade, something paramount happened. My principal, Faith Hamrick, pulled me aside in the lunchroom one day just to say the following sentence. I see you at an elite university one day, perhaps even Harvard. Just a random passing comment. And I said, where's that? Oh, by the way, I grew up in northeastern Colorado. The biggest employer was a meat packing plant. So cow slaughter for a living, that was the biggest employer in agriculture. So to be told this by your principal, seed planted, very, very powerful seed. Because nobody had ever said that before. Nobody said that after. Okay, different forms of encouragement. But here's the thing that I think is so sad. Unfortunately, so many brilliant English language learners have never discovered it. There's actually an article here, was it Washington Post? Yes, with the title right there. These kids were geniuses. They were just too poor for anyone to discover that. It's a fascinating article, because this could have been me. Right? Just nobody noticed. And so you kept on doing whatever you thought you should do. So teachers, please say, I see you at a university one day. Or I see you in a university one day. Right? You might think it, but you need to voice it, because you might be the only one that ever does. And I share that story with you because it had a lot to do with what happened next. Well, especially if you don't have college-educated parents, right? Drive them to go there. So in 10th grade, my drafting teacher said to me, "You're very strong in math, drawing, spatial analysis, and science. You should consider studying architecture." See, now an actual discipline that I might study being suggested. Do I know architects? Do I have the first clue about architecture? No. But he said that. And so you know what? That's actually my college major. How funny. It stuck. Because nobody else ever suggested anything else. And so the power of your words, the power of your words to suggest a future, a pathway never yet imagined. You are so powerful. But meanwhile, at home, I'm living in two worlds. I'm in the middle of the biggest contest of mommy that I ever lived. See, I was an athlete. I was a hardcore competitive volleyball player. Here's my team. But my mommy's saying, chores, not sports, right? Todas las otras niñas en el barrio están en la casa después de la escuela ayudando a su mamá, blah, 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 blah. So here, anybody heard this? Okay. Wow. Major conflict. Junior year, I was in a leadership position. I was actually co-captain of this team. We went to state competitions. We were good. We were competitive. I was gone. My mom just wanted me home to eat dinner. But it was even worse for her and me because I was in marching band. Friday night games, weekend competitions, the drum corps. ¿Qué les hace aquí dentro de la casa? This is real, right? This is a very real thing that continues. As you're out trying to be an American, ambitious young girl, and yet there's this other role that's predefined. And it was even worse than that. Because when the fall season ended, the marching band season ended, the volleyball season ended, I played basketball. And then in the spring, I played soccer. So can you see I was actually trying not to be home, right? But please take this with you. Encourage this traditional versus new future conflict. It's got to happen. So many young people are not encouraged to let that conflict happen and to work through it and to have that one review. They just succumb to the pressure. They succumb to the role. They succumb to the culture and the examples around them of nobody that has done anything different. And you're so powerful to share this story with others, to get them to go in a different direction, to change the mindset, get over the low expectations. So how can I go to college? I started to ask. My college-educated friends, their homes were bigger, their parents had nicer cars, with windshields that weren't broken, and they went to Europe. I would like to live like that one day, but how do I do that? And the common denominator was everybody in college education. So I started asking the question to my counselor. I knew we didn't have any money. I was the oldest of 5. So bless my guidance counselor, Virginia Burgess. She said, come to my house for dinner. My husband's family son is exactly like yours. He'll tell you how he did it. So she invited me to her house for dinner. Extraordinary mentoring step here. This is why I learned Major Burgess was an Air Force major, United States Air Force, and the Air Force had paid for him to go to college. Not in the Savannah High School, which is what our kids see all the time, right? That's one way to go. But the major told me, the military will pay for your education. We'll go in as an officer. What does that mean? So then he had to explain officer enlisted to me. My parents are immigrants. What military experience do I have? So bless this man. He held my hand through the entire 4-year ROTC application for the scholarship, which is very competitive, but I can use it anywhere I wanted to go. And then I'm applying to Berkeley, because it was my #1 school, and it had the earliest deadline. And there was this, oh no, I didn't take a foreign language moment. Because again, nobody was actively preparing me for college. It was just kind of suggested, and it was in my head. So in a panic, I go to my counselor. What do I do? This is not a transcript. It's not there. Fail. Do I give up? She says, no. Here's what we can do. We can sign you up for the Spanish Achievement Test. Which of course, what is that, right? Saturday you do, okay? So unlike today, where you can go on Amazon and get a College Board book to prepare for the Spanish Achievement Test, didn't have that. So literally, I showed up and I took the test, and my Spanish was, Spanish you live in the home when your parents are Mexican immigrants. But my mom is very important. She made me write letters to my abuelita in Mexico. So I used some vocabulary and some words that I could write because of that little assignment that my mom had given me. Did I know technical language? No. Did I know words at the level to take the Spanish Achievement Test? I got that. But you know what? I remember sitting there and just puzzling it out. Puzzling it out because I knew that Spanish was within me. That I could just figure it out. And it was one big puzzle. I don't know how I scored that 760 out of 800. I don't know. Other than completely intuitive. But I tell you this because in this moment, the rest of my life happens. Because Berkeley accepted that score in lieu of the 2 years. Because my counselor suggested it as a way to get out of something I didn't know. There it is. Spanish skills opened the closed door and I ran right through. But here's the next question. What if any teacher had ever made me feel that my first language is Spanish was a deficit or negative? What if at some point I abandoned it? I would not have gotten Berkeley, and none of what I'm about to show next would happen. And that's a scary and amazing thing, because it really is that difference in the young life. And what if my parents had insisted on not speaking Spanish as I know his habit, in some misguided attempt to assimilate? Wow, all the doors that would have been shut. But that's not what happened. The door was open, I ran through. So my parents drove me out to Berkeley, 1,100 miles away from my home in Colorado, and I started college as a four-year Watson cadet, the beautiful Berkeley campus there in California. My first Christmas, a few months later, brought sweatshirts for everybody. Like everyone's got Berkeley sweatshirts on. And very importantly, I brought my little cadet uniform home. I just thought it was so cute. It was like an airline flight attendant or something. It was something new and different. I wanted to show my parents, right? So I put that up there because as soon as I put that uniform on, my mom said, "Vamos a visitar a los vecinos." And what I forgot to tell you is when I got into Berkeley, when I got the letter and I got the scholarship letter, it happened on the same day, February 5th, my senior year, very early on. I remember being at the mailbox and my mom was crying. And it wasn't from happiness, right? And then everything happened months after that, before graduation. What did the neighbors, the vecinos, what did they say? ¿De veras vas a dejar a tu mamá? So like, everyone's guilt-tripping me. So there's all these really real obstacles in our communities to, especially for girls, to go forward and do this radical, rebellious thing. So please take this with you. Help students and families see they have to okay, college is new people. It's temporary. And the pride will come quickly. In the marching band, I loved it, traveled extensively, eventually got elected into the leadership of the public relations director. Keep an eye on this young man in the middle there. In the executive committee, you'll see him in a few minutes. I graduated, and after you finish your academics, the Air Force scheduled the commissioning ceremony for you. And so at the top of the bell tower on the Berkeley campus, one of the proudest moments in my life and my parents' life is my mommy and daddy putting on my lieutenant bars on my uniform to become a second lieutenant United States Air Force after raising my hand and taking that oath. Can you imagine the pride? We suffered the separation, we suffered the money, all of that. But this is all worth it. Then I went down the road to Sacramento for more schooling. Undergraduate navigation flight training in Sacramento. I'm getting my wings. You see the graduation picture there. One of these things is not like the other. My mom at the ceremony was so happy to see her daughter up there getting her aviator wings. She said, "Ahua! Nobody ever wears on that Latina!" She just couldn't contain it. I'm like, oh my God, she's still a person. Intense, so much pride. After enduring so much conflict, and just, wanting me to do the dishes. So it works out. And there's the young man right there, pinning my wings on the left side. I chose him to pin my wings. And then we were we are at the flight line later that day, showing mommy and papi the jets. Tiscareno-Sato is my husband of 25 years. We're about to celebrate 25 in January. So yeah, love story. So where does this take us? I show you these stories very specifically to tell you the impact teachers have had on my life, the importance of the Spanish, but very importantly, I've heard everybody say ahead of me, the culture. Nielsen wrote this report called the Latina Power Shift, and they use this word called ambicultural. I had never heard this word before. Ambos, both. Not bi, which is like bifurcation, bisect, cut in half. Ambicultural, both. 100% American and 100% Mexicana. But you know, why stop there? Look at my wedding. Married Japanese guy, and now a military officer. So as we leave the church, we have the mariachis lining up the exit here. It's a party, they're playing, my parents are walking out of church and doing the tapatío down the middle. And when everybody was out of the church, the color guard was there, and there's this wonderful tradition to cross the swords and trap the officer and his spouse, in this case, her spouse. And then the sergeant noticed right here, we talked ahead of time, she says, do you want me to do the butt thing? And I said, yeah, do the butt thing. The butt thing is you tap the bride's boobies and say, welcome to the Air Force family. I said, oh yeah, my husband will love that, do it. So it is a culturally additive life. I'm layering the cultures. My first one, my adopted one, my married one, my professional military culture one. I've given nothing up of myself, my identity, my family's culture. I won't do it. And then I went out to work in the military flight deck. Here I am with my crew. Usually it looked like that, 3-to-1 ratio. Sometimes you got to fly with all women. We call these unmanned flights. And you know, I got to fly in some supersonic jets. And this is the plane that I worked in, the QC-135 refueling tanker. How many of you are familiar with refueling tankers in the Air Force? Flying gas stations? Kind of a weird thing, but you know, it's pretty awesome. Kids love it. So what was that work? Well, base 60 knots and 450 miles an hour anywhere on the globe. My job was to do the calculations to get our plane together, latitude and longitude at precisely the right moment to meet up where we needed gas. Operationally over Iraq, I have an air medal from Iraq a year before women are supposed to be in combat. I was over there and I got that medal. So again, very unusual experiences for someone like me, right? So you're going to see that I can't keep these things to myself because they're too inspirational for little ones. Saudi Arabia. Here we are trying to blend in with our lives. You know, if you pan down, you'll see all the Nike shoes, so we're not really blending. But Saudi Arabia really is beautiful. Now, when you're an aviator, guess what? When you land, you've got downtime. You actually see the cities that you're visiting. You know, airline pilots, they fly and they land, they sleep, they fly and land, they sleep. We, as aircrew, actually had time to visit Crete, London, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Sevilla, so many places. Here's a quick map of where the Air Force is taking me. And I think that's incredibly awesome for growing up in the little cow town in northeastern Colorado. And I encourage this highly for as many people as possible. But you know what? I love language. I love language so much I studied Italian along the way at Berkeley. And then one day, there was a requisition in the Air Force that said, we need a battle staff officer wearing aviator wings to work for NATO in the battle staff. This is during the Bosnia-Herzegovina conflict, for those who remember that. So I raised my hand and said, I got the Spanish, got the Italian. They said, you're hired. So I got to spend 5 months living in Italy, working for NATO and controlling the airspace over Sarajevo, 7 airports, put on a black vest, flying with the Norwegians, all of that good stuff. It's incredible. Time off looked like this, skiing the Italian Dolomiti, and then going to Switzerland to ski a little bit at the base of the Matterhorn. And every day that I have these experiences, I am so mindful, I just stop and say, what a miracle. What a miracle my life is. It is a miracle. But more importantly, you know what I've been able to do? Benefits to my parents. Who had been to Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona. That's it. I learned my dad really likes castles. This is an Italian castle. We took him to Austrian castles, German castles. My parents really loved gondolas in Venice. when I was in Italy, I was there for like, what, 4 months, something like that? So the last thing I did was just leave and stay there. So we brought my parents over, my husband flew with them. But you know, I have this picture again of the origin picture here of my family. Again, who would have ever thought that I could do this for them? And my dad speaks hilariously awesome Italian. Took him to Florence, Renaissance city, my architecture dreams. The little Catholic girl took her parents to Mass at St. Peter's Basilica. Big time highlight for my parents and myself to be able to do that for them. Climbing Mount Vesuvius. Look at my mom's hat. People stopped her on the way and took pictures with her. True story. And he didn't tell me what he took me. Love that picture. Colosseum. Again, things you just never would have imagined. So you know what? I directly connect this right back to my teachers. My teachers helped me to open up the world for parents. It really was. Do you see the connection? You have the power to cause this ripple effect for your students. You have the power to change the long-term life trajectory for your student, but it goes way beyond that. You can impact generations. Generations will be impacted when one decides to break out. Keep the culture going. So they have you don't even know yet. You know, meet those needs. Push, change mindset. Let's talk about the need to help the family. Have you heard this? The need to help the family. I need to stop working. I need to leave school. I need to get a job. Okay? Very, very common. It's why 3 women graduate from college from the Latino community versus 1 male. Because the boys are kids at work. I was in San Marcos the other day. I'll show you that picture in a second. But one of the teachers said, yeah, his parents pick him up at noon every day. He misses afternoon classes. They already got their job. So this is happening, right? It's like this actual need. So a National Journal poll 2 years ago found that 66% of Hispanics, my glasses on, who got a job or entered the military direct after high school cited the need to help support the family as a reason for not enrolling, compared to only 39% of white students. So that's incredible. So what do we do about it? Well, here's a resource. The Pew Research Council did a little article called 5 Facts About Latinos in Education. I'm not going to read them all because they're all fascinating. What's circled here is one of the comments from Guadalupe Garcia, basically saying that if we're serious about education as parents, we need to stop this ridiculous notion that they need to support us. We brought them into this world to nurture them, for them to flourish. We need to be independent of them. So I put that in here because it's a very real thing. And my elderly parents can actually speak to your parents in Espanol about this very issue. How? Let me show you. Video, please.
Esto, yo hubiera ayudado a mi familia, hubiera ayudado a mis papás y déjenlos ir para que así ellos con su estudio puedan llegar más lejos, mucho más lejos de lo que es tenerlos ahí en la casa.
Sí, porque muchas familias quieren que el niño o niña que se ponga a trabajar
Para llegar a la casa es una...
y tener dinero ahorita, o $8 la hora,
No es...
en lugar de dejar de estudiar porque piensa que de estudiar va a costar mucho dinero y mejor tener dinero. Y que
Ese es un error muy grande de los padres, no digamos de permitirles a los hijos trabajar, sino de dejarlos en lugar de decirle, mira hijo, quédate en la escuela porque ahorita no vas a estar trabajando, no vas a estar ayudando a la casa, vamos a ver cómo lo hacemos para seguir adelante con los gastos de la casa sin que tú trabajes, pero tú quédate a estudiar porque ese es tu futuro. Y si no vas a estudiar, vas a estar aquí nomás en la casa ganando un poquito de dinero y te va a poder toda la vida, así que mejor dedícate a estudiar para que triunfes en la vida.
Sí, y es muy importante, es muy importante.
Felt the pain, lived out the struggle, watched me go away, now I receive the benefits of that. To talk to your parents, help them see the future. When my parents visited me for Christmas last year, we had this conversation at the dinner table, and it led to, let's take this over to the tree, we're going to record it. And so it's La Vista de la Paso, it's a parent engagement kit. You can do your own seminar. The DVD, my parents have 4 questions that they answered like this. It's all about seeing the future. Check it out. I'm at booth 616 and you can see it. But my parents, you know, they have spent one of the examples of themselves that they've raised. You'll see in a moment. You know, and the language opportunities I talked about, it didn't stop there because the military has as many needs as anybody else for people with language skills, right? So one position read, officer with aeronautical rating and fluency in speaking, writing, reading Spanish to serve as liaison officer at the U.S. Embassy in Quito, Ecuador. I checked my map. Have I been in Quito yet? No, I'll go. It was not easy. There was two of us. There was two of us who had wings on that were fully bilingual and fluent. And the other guy's wife had just had a baby and he said she won't let it go. So this is my view out of my 9th floor penthouse, which was incredible, up to the Bachita volcano that was right there. It's an astounding assignment. It's about 4.5 months. This is a team that I managed. There was Air Force, Special Operations, Army, Navy, and Air Force men. And I was the manager. We're doing the communications for the counter-narcotics operations. My Spanish there enabled me to do interviews for my thesis. I wrote my master's thesis there. And I interviewed a lot of people in government and people from different industries. It was on the telecommunications industry. I had access to so many people because of Spanish. And very importantly, enduring friendships. This is why you're checkpoint in his family. You know, those friendships are still alive and well in Platis now in the military academy in Ecuador, the time that their women serve. So in our global mobile society, students must preserve their first language, preserve their cultural identity, and add languages and add cultures. You know, because really and truly, I'll say this, no doubt in my mind, we want the limits for relationships. I couldn't have had invitations to visit him in his home and hang out with his wife, and their kids if I couldn't speak Spanish, right? It would just be a professional, the office, but we're friends. It's relationships, same thing with business. Every language then that I've learned has confidence. I can do this, I can learn anything. And that manifests itself in learning new technologies. Because I have no fear. Because tech is just another language. Code, telecommunications for Siemens, the very first company I worked in, actually in the military. They hired me straight out of the airplane into the global marketing management role to launch software across the Americas and Europe. Why? The language skills. My team skills. Not because I was flying in airplanes. Those language skills that are so valued. So valued. And then I went to work for an Israeli company, headquartered in Tel Aviv, which got me over to Israel for about a month. I've been to Jerusalem. Again, who knew? So adding different technologies, solar power inverters and power optimizers. And all of this led to the moment where I said, okay, what do I really need to do? And you know what I decided? How many of you grew up with too many books in your school that celebrated the highly educated Latinos in our community? No? Me either. I won't tell you the whole story of how it happened, but it led to me deciding that someone has to do that. Professor expectations and Microsoft involved. But I learned the technology to set up an online store. And what I'm very proud to tell you is that I've created a 21st century publishing firm for the purpose to celebrate and showcase my communities. Latinos and veterans. Because again, 200,000, what is it, 250,000, 2 million, I think 2 million women veterans now. Do you ever hear of us? Do you see us in the literature? So I came around and thought, all these skills that I have, I need to do something that will have impact, that will help with me. And so this is just some of what we offer. Award-winning nonfiction books about living Latinos entrepreneurs. I'll show you a couple of them in a second as part of the Hora. Digital formats, webinars, and parent empowerment. And you're going to see them on the wide special education materials as well. So yeah, I publish to motivate, inspire, and raise expectations. You do what you do, I supplement with inspiration, motivation from people from our community. But why? Why did I make this choice? 18 months after leaving the Air Force, I gave birth to my first child, Milagro. 25 weeks gestation, 1 pound, 2 ounces. There she is, there's a baby in her summer. There's a little hand right there. She's intubated on life support. She was 100 days early. 18 months after leaving the airplane, flying with people with the world's best eyesight, I'm thrust into the world of blindness. Wow, didn't see that coming. But you know what? I met parents right away who said, do not lose your child to disability. Such a powerful philosophy. So we raised this kid, doing everything, preschool, everything, but you know, a bad thing happened. She started kindergarten, and the teacher actually said in IP that you're recording, this child is unteachable. Oh, that's the wrong language. So we informed advocates, we removed her from the team and got her to radical expectations. She what she can hear on the left ear. She got the ear impact surgery on the right ear very recently. And miracle of miracles, okay? 5th grade, she was selected as the advancement ceremony speaker of all she wrote. Brought the school to tears. There's her teacher holding the mic, and she's just reading her braille that she wrote. Started school at California School for the Blind. In her first year, she was in the Braille Bee, which is like a spelling bee that you say things like .5W, W, double E. So you speak the way you write the Braille. She was a finalist, one of the 6 finalists. The guy who won was 17 years old. So she is awesome. Her brain is intact, her memory is intact, and she was the first student to be inducted into the Braille Writing Hall of Fame twice. Which means they can do 200 contractions and black belt words, like hard words, and you have to write them. 200, you have to get 100% right. And everybody else makes little mistakes, and somehow my kid did it perfectly twice. This kid who was once called a teacher. Oh, she loves technology. She's a whiz with the professional Braille display. She loves little bits. I don't know if you're familiar with little bits of electronics you snap together with magnets. She loves those things. And she was honored about 6 months ago by our city as a teenager after she was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Let's talk about bilingual and Braille. It's actually quadrilingual. Naya, first Tortilla, great bilingual story. And the school has an entire library, thousands and thousands of books in Braille. And they've actually been able to translate all the English and Spanish into Braille. So we have the English and the Spanish, and the English Braille and the Spanish Braille. My kid couldn't be happier. And she's also discovered in our world travels that Braille exists in German and Italian. So her mind's like, I want to be a Braille teacher, I want to teach languages. And this happened since I spoke in San Antonio. Remember, hearing it on one side, clear on the other side. This kid has perfect pitch. I did not even know that was a thing if you can't really hear, except for the technology. And so she just had her first piano recital at the school, played the original composition that I wish I had produced like for you, but I don't. And her teacher wrote the song and selected her to perform it. Absolutely beautiful. Message me, I'll send you the link, you'll love it. But again, look at it, cochlear implant right here. She hears music perfectly. Her speech isn't perfect. She hasn't been hearing perfectly all her life. She has some speech stuff going on. Basically, she's 85% intellectual. Improving. And of course, look at this kid, how happy she is. She's in the choir. Wow, unteachable, yet you're in the choir and playing piano. Wow. So what is this about? Well, here's a quote from her first teacher. Her preschool teacher sent me this message last year. I will always remember our first IEP together and the high standards you set for us all. I believe then as I do now that you are absolutely correct to do so. There is no greater barrier to success than the barrier set by low expectations. Every individual deserves support in all its definitions she or he needs to be able to make the most of his or her life on this earth. It's hard. It may be expensive. It takes patience, passion, perseverance. But there's no other endeavor more worthwhile than providing a child what she needs to be able to flourish. And that led to this epiphany that my daughter is why I publish and speak and raise expectations for students. Because as I wrote in the White House blog when I went over there, here's my quote. If she can achieve all that without eyesight and a severe hearing impairment, imagine what little Latinas without those impairments can accomplish if only all educators, administrators, and parents have high expectations of them. And I want to just throw that out there because I know a lot of you have high expectations for your students. And I also know there's pockets and places in this country and in the world, mostly in the country, where that's not the case. But I give you my daughter Milagro as an example. She doesn't see. She hears nothing when her ears are not installed. Look at her. And she's got all kinds of plans for her future. And so I realized that because I've lived that life of advocacy and raising her, and only surrounding her with people that have those high expectations, that I know what's possible, even for someone who's that's a challenge. So, bilingual education should be a piece of cake, right? No, it isn't. But in terms of how you think about what's possible, and who's teachable and who isn't, and who can achieve, I give you my Milagro. And I really believe you can't be what you can't see, and our students need to see the hola de éxitos that look like them. And I'm obsessed with getting these stories in the hands of kids who need them. This is what I do. I go to schools, I flood them with these examples I'm about to show you. Because, you know, when you can bring NASA engineers and business owners and people who manage billions of dollars in financial assets and they're all Latino and bilingual, it really matters to basically the classroom in the country. And this is my community, this is my network, this is who I surround myself with. This woman here, see her prosthetic arm? She was born with no arms, no legs. Her name is Dana, she's Cubana and Japonesa. No arms, no legs. She is a rehabilitation engineer researcher at NASA. Her research is in how far can we stress the human body, what happens if things break, fall off, stop operating in space, what do we do? She's a phenomenal, amazing person. She goes in a classroom with no arms, no legs, all prosthetics, tells you she has a master's degree in engineer. Like, whatever excuse you're making for how you're not going to get your education, it makes you think. And examples, and I love it. I love being around the people. And I make bookmarks of all the inspirational speakers I bring to events that kids can take it home and find out how they got their money and how much you make in 5 years out of college and all these things that teens want to know. So, a thought. In dual immersion programs, do we call Spanish-speaking natives or English-speaking natives SLLs? Some of you said no, most don't, right? Do we stop that labeling and remind you that you're still learning? No, we don't do that, right? So, what if instead of this ELLs, we adopt this new term, we call your students future bilingual professionals. FBPs! So I'm going to channel my inner Malala. Have you seen Malala's movie? The girl who's shot in the head with that talent? Have you seen the movie? Do you have? I highly encourage you to see this movie. It's extraordinary. Here's the quote that I'm going to use in the movie. She says, I tell my story not because it is unique, but because it is not. Her context is different than mine. She's talking to 62 million girls in the world who don't have their education. What I say, I'm but one of millions of ambicultural, bilingual, educated, successful Latinos, children of immigrants in this nation, and this room is filled with you guys. Okay? But we don't know. So, warning, this hola of éxitos I'm going to flood you with is bigger than my time slot. How much time do I have? 15, awesome. Okay, here we go. I'm but one. I want to just throw these at you for your students. You can share these with your students, but here they are. I'm just going to flood you with my friends. 10 Latinovators in the book. I'm only going to focus on one. Latinovating. It is a word I invented. Innovation rooted in the Latino culture, and I focus on the makers, inventors, and STEM fields, because that's who creates new companies in this country, the inventors and creatives. I'm going to introduce you real quick to one of them, Humberto Rincon. He grew up in Imperial Valley, Southern California. He was the 9th child of 9. His father was in the Graciela program. So mom, dad, and 8 older siblings are all in the field working together. He's the last little baby. He's doing well in school. But he decided to not go back to school after Christmas his senior year. And he says he finished all the courses needed for graduation. He went to work at the local candy shoe store. He was put directly into the national training program, being bilingual in a town that was the border and good money and positions. My puppy thought I had it made. Good money, good hours, lots of friends, and a picture of my own store comes to me. His guidance counselor, Mr. Walker, an African-American man who spoke Spanish. He coached me and encouraged me to pursue math and science. He told my parents, your son should go to college. Roberto recalls his father's response, why don't you want to go to college? You're already working at candy shoes, making more money than me. You have great hours. Where will the money from college come from? Do you think it's a nice job? We wear a tie and go to college, making no money for all these years? This is right. But the educator won. He said, apply to college, use mine to rest of your application. I think that's going to be done. So he did. He ended up at UC Davis, mechanical engineering degree. Then he went on to get a master's degree at Stanford in material science. He's worked at lots of startups, lots of Fortune 500s, doing very well for himself, lots of golf. In his early retirement, he goes to Mexico now and does a lot of projects in a particular little town of Oaxaca. And what I want you to look at is his little nieta right here. He's a grandfather now. His daughter is a medical doctor. So in one generation, we went from everybody picking lettuce to McKinney. mechanical engineering daddy who invites doctors over to ask for the daughter to the network and find out what the career's like, to now having his granddaughter. What is she can do? That's to remind you of the ripple effect that you can have. So all these Latino innovators are the first to go to college. Luis Rojas, East LA. Accounting major, now major solar developer. 6 districts in California are his customers, all the way to Hawaii and the Philippines. He helps schools put their money they're sending to the utilities, keep it in the operating budget. Okay, but again, he's first gen. Mabes Ardaneta, social justice story, teaches kids who were pushed out of very low high school how to become certified green economy, solar installers, and technicians, while getting their plans. Then he's on to college, like an engineer in the next technology. But it doesn't stop at the job. Frank Ramirez from Colorado, he invented a system by which ice melts and powers the processes of air conditioning systems, thereby saving tons of energy. Austin Energy uses these. His invention, his company. The second set of Latino innovators is coming in a couple of years. We have 3 inventors from San Francisco. Mami and Papi moved back to Mexico to take care of aging parents, so their college-educated kids are now running business. So this is a success story, green technology, all digital, and they're growing the business in San Francisco. These 2 guys, Berkeley Business School, and they're growing mushrooms in kids using Pete's coffee grounds. Because oyster mushrooms grow beautifully in coffee grounds. And they package it as $1 million with a $12 million company now. With that in projects. Innovation, creation, all Latinos, all bilingual. Josefina Luna found herself unemployed in her 50s. And asked, done? This is it? Like we only get to work in our 50s and we're throwaway people? So with 2 Latinas, 2 African Americans, they created a worker-owned co-op and they have a composting co-op, contracts with grocery stores, hospitals, factories making food, and restaurants. A service they're providing. And they just raised $340,000 from direct investors. So you see that the excitement? We're doing this, it's in our community. Liz, Navy veteran, energy company in San Diego, Rocio Romero from Chile, architectural designer, questioned, if you're poor, why do you have to live in a trailer? Why can't you live in a beautiful modern house for the same $38,000? So she's doing for housing what IKEA does for your couch. Incredible innovation. And a lot more that I don't have time to talk about. Engineers from Houston, they're now in California. They won a global elite startup contest. One's mechanical, one's electrical, Jess and Martinez. And more FBPs and corporations. I'll only draw your attention to one. Latinas in STEM is 6 engineers from MIT. The founder is Norma Cadena, and she has a mechanical engineering, MBA, and master's degree in mechanical engineering. Very impressive, worked for Boeing, satellites. Now has a hardware startup in Los Angeles where she helps inventors get money to invent and grow companies. She's like an entrepreneurship hub in LA. What you won't find in her bio is that she took a 6-month-old infant to MIT when she was a teen mom. But she decided not to become a statistic. She decided to go through it, take the baby. Her counselor encouraged her, and Sloan's unstoppable. Jaime is an engineer at Kimberly-Clark. Diana also has launched satellites, and she's actually engineering management. Again, I show you these stories because I want to flood you. I'm one person, but I want you to have all of you in your mind that you can share with your students. Fernando Bravo, barely graduated, undiagnosed dyslexia. It took him 10 years to graduate from college once it was found that he was dyslexic. And he tells people it doesn't matter. Because even if you don't graduate from college at 28, there's a lot of years beyond that for an awesome life. He's a lead engineer sitting next to Stanford. Jose Hernandez, astronaut, medical doctor, Latina serving proudly. The books that Hugo was talking about, we just got featured in USA Today. Technical language, inspirational messages, diverse characters, 2 language, and glossary with aviation terms. Because you know what? It's time to encourage our kids to towards technical careers. You know, when they're learning 2 languages, why not? More resources you can have when you ask them for the slides. How to raise Latinos superstars and send them to the best colleges. Wrapping up, in your classroom on Monday, look out there and see many future bilingual professionals. See them. Think of their future bios. Help the families in that bilingual passport. They expect great things. And if anyone in your district resists bilingual education, remind them that China is on track to produce 200 million college graduates by 2030. And And by 2020, India will be graduating 4 times as many college graduates in the United States. I guarantee you a lot of them want to come work here. And guess what? They're all bilingual or trilingual. So my family today, parents retired, got bored, opened a shop, sold it in El Paso, 50th wedding anniversary. My sister is working for a whole company with the VA Business Administration. My brother took his own life in 1993. My other brother's a chief in the Navy with a computer science degree, almost complete, just hired by a satellite company. My little brother's studying astrophysics, and I'm doing what I'm doing. If you can't be what you can't see, help me flood the young minds with positive images, please. Come see me in the booth. There's a code for you to use. I will end with this. I showed this story of my daughter, little girl. So it's perfect to end with another little girl. Her name is Adriana, and I met her at assembly. As the kids were leaving, the assembly was totalmente en español, so the kids could better understand. As they were leaving, she pulled out my sleeve. And she said, Capitán, mamá, yo también quiero dar a como tú. She's 5. So now, do I look like someone in your classroom today? Thank you.
El lema de nuestra conferencia, porque va más allá de nuestro salón en un solo día, es ver la meta y la misión. Estamos en una misión, todos como educadores bilingües.
I'm going to ask you not to leave because I'm going to be making some important that I think are some announcements that are very important. But please join me again in a round of applause to show our appreciation of Ms. Graciela Tiscareño-Sato.